For many people around the world in this time of COVID-19, life has become fraught, unbalanced, and discomforting. Moreover, for meditators, particularly those whose heart is connected to the Dharma and the Golden Land, it is very hard to get information on how the pandemic is affecting things here. We wondered how we could do our part to help brighten people's day just a bit and provide that information. So we changed our normal run of interviews to bring you this new series, which examines how the coronavirus is specifically affecting monasteries across Myanmar and meditators around the world. Continue to check the Insight Myanmar podcast feed for upcoming episodes related to this topic. We know this is a challenging time for many out there, and hope all our listeners are staying physically safe and mentally sound.
If we are complacent and don't do really aggressive containment and mitigation, the number could go way up, many, many millions.
To be isolating patients, emphasizing social distancing.
Wuhan, China confirmed the coronavirus outbreak is now a pandemic.
That COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
In Italy, one of the worst affected countries, the pace
and business supply chains are being disrupted around the globe. This combination of people being unable to work, businesses being unable to
It's confirmed the coronavirus outbreak is now a pandemic.
Virus is selfish. It thinks only for itself. It can survive like the human beings. We want to survive as much as we can. That's why we will think only for ourselves. The virus is also the same. It wants to survive. But human beings are fighting the virus as soon as possible. That's why the virus is also attacking as much as they can. The virus is trying to spread around the world. Although the virus can be alive for 2 weeks, but it can spread. In this way, the virus can spread for many years. So people are also trying to destroy the virus. So the virus is also trying to destroy the people. So there's fighting between virus and people. Not fighting the virus. We are not killing. So that's why we are not enemies to the virus also. If we are afraid of to die, to lose our belongings and life, it will be the same mind like the virus.
The episode you're about to hear is the first in a new series produced by the Insight Myanmar podcast about how the global pandemic is affecting Burmese monasteries and meditation centers, as well as meditators from around the world. For the inaugural show, we have chosen 2 extended talks with a pair of lifelong monastics. First, the American monk Bhikkhu Subhuti joins us from his kutia at Pauk Monastery in Pinluin. And then we air a portion of a talk that the Baba Sayadaw gave to an assembled foreign audience at his Thanlian Branch Monastery. There's no question that the average householder's life has been highly disrupted, unable to go to work or school, and challenged to take a trip to the supermarket, let alone take a short vacation. Who knows what even a new normal will look like? In contrast, most monks adhere pretty carefully already to shelter-at-home orders as part of their normal monastic discipline, and have far less need to travel here or there. So the extension of barbershop or shopping center closures has little to no impact on their life. So many meditators may be curious as to how different a monastic's life really is in this time of pandemic. As you will hear, although the daily monastic discipline and meditative practice of observing the mind varies little whether before the time of coronavirus or now during the pandemic, in some ways things have changed. For example, a range of discomforts, anxieties, and inconveniences also affect monastics' life today in similar ways to the lay experience. In the show that follows, both monks discuss the growing fear at their respective monasteries about keeping the virus from reaching their compounds, as well as the difficulty procuring daily fresh food, owing to an inability to go on morning alms rounds, a closure of local markets, or a decrease in access to lay supporters. There's something special with starting this series off with the words of two committed bhikkhus leaving behind the fetters of lay society in order to devote themselves to the contemplative life. Monastics are sometimes able to present a novel or fresh perspective to the daily grind invisible to us layfolk when we can't see the forest for the trees. Mired as many of us are in our need to take care of our family members, look after the home, and secure an income, the freedom that monastics have from these day-to-day necessities permits them a broader perspective from which to view the present situation. A caveat about the podcast production. In this new age of social distancing, face-to-face interviews are of course no longer possible. So like the rest of the media world today, we're trying to adjust to these new rules and limitations. The most obvious consequence of this is technical. It should go without saying that neither of our two speakers had access to a professional recording studio as we used in past podcast episodes. Our expert sound engineers have done their best to improve and enhance the sound quality, but there is a limit even to their magic. While we apologize for any difficulty you may experience as you listen to these episodes, we appreciate your understanding of the challenges we face in producing them. On another note, please keep in mind that these interviews took place in the past. We spoke to Bhikkhu Subhuti several weeks ago, and the speech from Burmese Sayadaw was given over 1 month ago. Because we are a podcast, not a news organization, some of the factual details conveyed in these interviews may be outdated by the time you hear them. We are greatly appreciative for the time that these two monastics generously provided to share their words and perspectives, and hope you find some light and wisdom in their words. We have conducted many more interviews with other meditators and monastics, etc., being impacted both inside and outside Myanmar during this time of coronavirus, and we'll be releasing them so on. And if you find value in what you hear, a reminder that we have loads more written content on our website, insightmyanmar.org. And one final note in the form of a plug, and a reminder that we are 100% listener supported, so any financial contribution you make will help us keep the lights on. We have pushed beyond our limited budget and usual schedule to get these special coronavirus episodes out to you, and any support to help us continue to produce our content would be greatly appreciated. We wish that all our listeners stay safe and mentally sound and are able to seek positive transformation even amid these challenging times.
Now Myanmar are controlling the people to go out less and less, to reduce activities, to stay by ourselves. Most of the people don't understand how to do good deeds. Even if they understand, they cannot practice in their daily life. But we are meditators and volunteers. Therefore, we are trying to do good deeds to prevent the attack of the virus. Actually, the virus is not much powerful and dangerous, but it is well known by worldwide. The strong ignorance and attachment concerned with the virus are really dangerous. Most of the people cannot avoid the virus. Up to now, nearly 900,000 people in the world are attacked by the virus, and nearly 50,000 people die because of the virus. Doing all kinds of good deeds together by using the method of to be doing only is really powerful. Now I'm teaching to be doing or not doing only to the public. When we are practicing doing or not doing only, We just need to emphasize our present action of doing or not doing. Who we are or what we are doing or where we are, what time we are using, whatever happened in ourself or our center or in the world are to use only. No need to emphasize. We are not rejecting the virus. Besides, we are not attaching the virus. We are relying on the method of doing or not doing only. That's why we are detaching from the virus with mindfulness. In this way, not friends or enemies. We are not the same way with the virus. We are keeping preset all the time, but the virus is not keeping preset. We are together with the people who are keeping preset and doing good deeds. We cannot be together with the people who are not keeping preset. In this way, we can be safe from the virus. No killing, no stealing, or destroying the belongings of the others. No sexual misconduct, no telling lies, no taking alcohol are in our mind. We are using the truth or good action in the mind. The virus is concerned with the mind of killing, stealing. In this way, we will not be together because of using the opposite mind. This is the way we use to prevent all the dangers. If we want to kill the virus, the mind is breaking preset and we can meet with the virus and we will not be safe. We should use different views and activities to avoid from the virus. When we are doing good deeds, we should be in harmony with the changing time, place, person and condition. In the past, we have chance to travel from one place to another in the country and abroad. Therefore, we have been traveling continuously to do good deeds. Because of doing good deeds outside, in most of the time, we cannot stay and do good deeds in the center. Nothing is permanent. Now, we cannot go out. We need to stay in the center. In this way, we have chance to do good deeds in the center. We need to correct the mistake of the center. This is doing good deeds in harmony with time, place, person and condition. We don't need to change the time, place, person and condition. We just need to accept the changing nature to do good deeds, to be doing or not doing continuously. There are many people in this center, so also many problems, but I really try to solve the problem directly. I continue doing good deeds in the most needed place in order to solve the problems in both the place I have been staying and the Italian. I continue doing good deeds in other country or other place with the intention of to solve the problems in both the Italian and the present location I have been there. This is solving the problem indirectly because the problems here and there are connected. By solving the problems in other country, it will be effective, the problems in this country. Now it is the time for this center to correct many mistakes one after another by doing good deeds continuously together. It is the same for you all. If you cannot go out and not much connection with the others, it is the time to solve the inner problems of your mind by practicing mindfulness and detachment, to be less ignorance and attachment. This is the chance for all of us. One man, maybe over 40 years, he came back from Myawaddy, the border of Thailand. He stayed at the cement bench beside the fence of the military. So he arrived 2 days ago. Yesterday night, he take shower, and then in the morning, he feels sick maybe. He drank alcohol also, so he fell down on the floor and then nearly died when we found that man. But we don't know what is his name. No information to the office. Some people, especially alcoholics, they may not inform to the office, so they came here and stay by themselves. There is a food provided, so he may take food and he may use toilet, shower, and then he stay by himself. Now he is a patient of diabetes, but we don't know. No information, but only when he fell down to the ground. That's why we arranged to send to the hospital. Then at the hospital he died, but no virus because of drinking alcohol. They stay on the bench and then they can get money from the donor who came here. So they can get pocket money to buy alcohol. In the past, we arranged to send all the alcoholics to Legu the Power Center, but most of the people come back. Only a few stay there and became normal. Now we arrange a place at the old Dharma hall. We clean the wood for fire, and then we will make wall, temporary wall, and we will make sleeping bed for them, and then we will take all the people who are staying at the bench to stay there, not to happen like this, not to fall down from the bench and not to die like this. We already clean, so we will arrange some of the floor for them, and then we can move tomorrow for those, especially alcoholics. Besides, at that old Dharma hall place, we are making a Dharma hall among the big tree. Now you may see the car with Buddha statue. So that car intend to go around the street in the city for those who want Buddha to come to their place. Like going Armstrong, when we go Armstrong, monks and volunteers go around the street. So this is Buddha statue. They may go to the work quarter. So people can worship, donate. So in this way, they can do good deeds on their place. Now it is difficult to go somewhere. Most of the people are staying at home. They are cooperating with the government by not going out, by staying at home. So in Yangon, downtown, not much people, no traffic, only a few cars going. By staying at home, by staying by themselves, people are preparing to prevent the outbreak of the virus. Now in inaugural hospital, one of the patients concerned with the virus stayed there without information about coming back from the other country. The danger became more and more near for Yangon, big city, many people. Besides, more and more worry for this center also. Over 3,000 people with the foreigners and old and sick people, a lot here. So we need to be careful more and more, because most of the place was no activity, staying at home. We must accept for those who are in most need. We must go out only for emergency. There are many young men and women who went to Thailand for work. Some of the workers came back from Thailand, but from border, not by flight. So it is difficult to control the virus in some of the village. When the worker came back from the other country, therefore there is one quarantine place in most of the village in monastic. A lot of young men and women went to Thailand for their earning. The government announced to come back only after water festival, the third week of April this month. But some of the workers, they may not be able to stay in Thailand, so some came back illegally. So that is dangerous. So we need to be careful more and more. It is difficult to control the people in the country because a lot of border paths with the other country. Therefore, it is better we do good deeds, especially practicing meditation by ourselves. There are many things happen in this country, not legally. What we don't understand is much better than we understand. For the Power Center, we emphasize what most of the people don't understand. We are solving the problem, which is not understood by most of the people in the country. That's why we have to rely on Dharma, doing good deeds. If we rely on money or power, education, medicine, we cannot do like this. We are not rejecting the law and regulation, but we are trying to do good deeds without limit. Because of the virus, we have much connection with the government than before. Because of the new situation, we need to be careful. We should try to see the view of the government. But compared with the former government officer, it's changed a lot. We can negotiate. We should try how to cooperate with the government officer in the best way. They are also trying to cooperate with us. For the Power Center, we are skillful to cooperate with anyone, because we are not grasping something or someone. We try to be doing only, not doing only, with mindfulness and detachment. You all should learn the method of doing or not doing only, with mindfulness and detachment. If you are doing with grasping, you cannot do everything. If you are doing without grasping, you can do many things. Today we had complaints about the foreigners who are going in the village. It is better not to go to the village. You should stay away from the public area, public road, public place concerned with the village. This is the most dangerous time for the Power Center, so we need to be careful at least 2 weeks seriously. You can volunteer at the current Dharma hall. Now we start cleaning the place, and then we were trying to make wall, temporary wall, and then temporary shelter for meeting, meditation at that place. Maybe some of the visitors can stay there at night. Now we should wear the mask also, to be careful more seriously than before. The danger is more and more near, not to invite virus here in this center. This is especially to solve the fear and worry in the mind concerned with the Power Center. No virus in the center, but more worry and fear for the virus in the mind of the people who are concerned with the Power Center. That's why we need to solve the problems of the virus in the mind by protection with masks and normal activities, by staying ourselves. In this way, we can reduce the fear and worry of the mind concerned with our center. Prevention for the virus in the mind, especially in the mind. The mind is the most important. No virus in the center, but the virus is in the mind concerned with the Power Center. So we need to solve the problems of the mind. If we can solve this problem successfully, we can be safe from the virus also. This is worldly protection, not concerned with spiritually, not concerned with cause and effect. We are skillful to use cause and effect for the protection of the sender. But we need not to reject the worldly protection. That's why we have to do like this. You should try to find out the way how to solve the problem. This is the biggest problem for the whole world. How to deal with the virus in the right way, with less side effect, by using all the methods we know. Even going Armstrong may not be able in the future. Now, more worry for Armstrong also. Most of the monks in other monasteries may not go Armstrong. There are different groups in the power center Dharma. The group of the monks, the group of the nuns, the group of the international volunteers, the group of the old and sick people. Each group is responsible not to make mistake with the virus at this moment. We all are doing good deeds together, but we are also making mistake because of not having enough knowledge about good deeds. Present action of doing good deeds is complete, but there is weakness in the sight of human beings. No one is complete. In every group, there are cooperation. So there will be right action, there will also be wrong action. That's why there will be competition between the power of good deeds and bad deeds. For the group in which the power of good deeds is much stronger than the power of bad deeds, there will not be problem, for sure. But we are together in the power center. That's why we should try to get success of the whole the power center Tanlin. That is really important. It is not much difficult to do good deeds by ourselves, not to make much mistake, and it is more easy to do more good deeds than bad deeds by ourselves. But it is difficult to do good deeds together, to do more good deeds and less mistake together. To get the success of the whole organization of the power center is more difficult, but we should try to be like this. This is not only for this coronavirus, this is for all the problems and difficulties. We must try to do like this, to get success of the whole center. By thinking only, it seems impossible, but by practice, we can find a solution to get success. Even if you are practicing by yourself at another center, you should let us know about you, update. In this way, we can know about each other. There are many places concerned with the power center, many people also, so we can cooperate each other. Now we became more and more difficult to do good deeds, but we are trying to find out how to do good deeds in harmony with the present situation. We don't give up doing good deeds at the present moment. We are trying to do our best. Most of the people are not much skillful to deal with the virus, so they may think only for themselves. They may not think for the others. But still, we are thinking for the others also. We will not close the center. Besides, we will not open the center fully. We are trying to be doing only. Closing or opening is not important for us. To be doing only is the most important for us, for all. We emphasize to be doing or not doing only. Now you should try to learn about that method. Only by doing good deeds continuously, you can understand. The virus can stop our physical and verbal action, but it cannot stop the mind. So even if we can go anywhere and we can do nothing, we can be mindful and detached. In this way, we can continue doing good deeds by ourselves or by the others. Concerned with the power center, Thailand, we are busy with doing various good deeds at every present moment. You should try to learn by practice. Even if we cannot be together, we can use the messenger or WhatsApp group to do good deeds together. The virus is new for most of us, so we must be careful not to be the victim of the virus. That is really important. Because we are not alone, we are together with many old and sick people. So if we make mistake, there will be many loss. So if you are not sure about yourself, it is better to stay by yourself with mindfulness and detachment. For me, I have been dealing with the patients over 70 years continuously. I went to many hospitals. There are also many patients and OAs in this center, so I am skillful to deal with the patient's disease, medicine, virus, not to be attacked, not to be defeated by the disease and virus. I'm not a doctor, but I am a meditator. That's why I use the power of mindfulness and detachment to overcome the disease and virus.
Today, I heard from the local volunteers that the patients from Rainbow Hospital were not allowed to go out anymore. I just want to know if this is coming from the hospital managers, or the government officers, or the housekeepers, or from who?
It is the desire of the government and also the in charge of that building, and also my teaching every day. I don't guide, stay at home or at the place. I just suggest it is better not to go out, not much activity. So more and more demand to stay at their place, to stay by themselves. Only for emergency case they should do. That is the knowledge, especially most of the people here, they obey me. So they know I really make mistake. In this way, if I say something, they are more serious than the others. I'm not stopping, but it is difficult for most of the people to make decision. It is emergency or not. Making mistake is natural here in this country. So there will be misunderstanding or wrong decision. I'm not stopping not to go on, but I'm suggesting it will be more and more dangerous in the future. So it is better to stay at home, at your place. With my permission, you can do it. I can arrange. If you have enough reason to get out of the patient, I can allow you. So you should cooperate with me. That is important. You cannot do by yourself. I'm concerned with many people, many things I can see from many sides. So I'm free to do something here. You are not much free. So you let me know what you want to do. It is sure there will be less and less activity because of the Indian festival, the most dangerous time. We should try to be harmony with this situation. If we reject, there will be much problem in the mind. So we should not against with the public also. More and more people are cooperating with the government. That's why we should cooperate with the government also. They understand this is the most dangerous place at Dalian because of the foreigners, many foreigners and old and sick people. That's why they don't want to happen. They don't want virus in this center. That's why they will try to support us. We are also trying not to have virus in this center. So also they want, because we are connected. If there is virus here in this center, it can spread to the village, to Dalian, to this town. The other places are easy to control, but this place is not easy. They understand. They don't know very well how to support us. So they ask me advice whether they can support doctor or nurse or some of the mask or hand gel. Only by their own experience they can understand. They understand if closing this center will be much side effect. They understand about this center, about what we are doing here. So they are also difficult how to cooperate with us. But only by cooperating with us, they can understand more and more. So only by practice, they were trying to find the solution. Only by practice, we can teach to them also. But they understand this is hot season. The weather is hot. So they are also mental patient. So it is difficult to control the people here also. But not to reject, they will cooperate with us. But they will also do as I, under my suggestion, under my guidance. They understand, they cannot do like me, like us. That's why, not to reject, they want to cooperate with us. That is what I understand. Because this center already exists 12 years ago. That's why more and more people know about us by their own experience. In the beginning, many misunderstandings about this center. Now, more and more right understanding about us, so not much difficult to cooperate with us. They will do to support us. We are together. That's why people here may be serious not to go out, to stay by themselves. Because some of the people here are retired government staff. So for them, they know. For those people, they are easy to obey the law of the government. That's why they want to cooperate with us. So it is better to be together to solve the problem. We cannot do by ourselves, so also they cannot do by themselves. If we are together, we can do better.
We hope that you are enjoying this special podcast series, bringing you updates during this time of global pandemic, from Burmese monasteries and meditation centers to meditators around the world. As we all are sheltering at home, experiencing the anxieties associated with these challenging times, we hope this content helps allay at least some of your concerns and provides insight and inspiration. As you may have heard, we diverted our limited funds designated for the normal sit-down interviews to bring you this series, which has put a strain on our finances going forward. We know this is a difficult time for many, and that there's an added financial strain as well. That being said, we appreciate any amount of generosity you're able to give to keep our engine going. While all of our podcast volunteers are meditators, who are either volunteering their time in full or providing substantial discounts, there's still a baseline financial need to cover overall expenses. Whatever funds we are able to collect now will be used solely for producing these new episodes. Any additional donations will allow us to increase our run. We welcome your contribution in any amount, denomination, and transfer method. You may give via Patreon, PayPal, by credit card on our website, or through Insight Myanmar's GoFundMe campaign. The address for Patreon is www.patreon.com/Insight Myanmar. Patreon is spelled Patreon. Insight Myanmar is spelled INSIGHTMYANMAR. The PayPal website is www.paypal.me/Insight Myanmar. On behalf of all of us at Insight Myanmar, stay safe and be well. We thank you for your support.
You have been listening to the Insight Myanmar podcast. We would appreciate it very much if you would be willing to rate, review, and or share this podcast. Every little bit of feedback helps. If you are interested, you can subscribe to the Insight Myanmar podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever else you get your podcasts. Also, please check out our website for a list of our complete episodes, including additional text, videos, and other information available at www.insightmyanmar.org. If you cannot find our feed on your podcast player, please let us know and we will ensure it can be offered there. There was certainly a lot to talk about in this episode, and we'd like to encourage listeners to keep the discussion going. You can make a post, suggest a guest, request specific questions, and join in on discussions on our Insight Myanmar podcast Facebook group. You are also most welcome to follow our Facebook and Instagram accounts by the same name. If you're not on Facebook, you can also message us directly at burmadhamma@gmail.com. That's one word, burmadhamma@gmail.com. Or if you'd like to start up a discussion group on another platform, let us know and we can share that forum here. We would also like to take this time to thank everyone who made this podcast possible, especially our two sound engineers, Martin Combs and Tharng A. There's of course Zach Hessler, content collaborator and part-time co-host. Ken Pransky helps with editing, Dragos Bandita and Andre Francois make our sketches, GPU does our Burmese translation, Herman Perez, Santiago Hedar, and Marisol do our Spanish translations, and a special Mongolian volunteer who has asked to remain anonymous does our social media templates. We'd also like to thank everyone who assisted us in arranging for the guests we have interviewed so far. And of course, we send a big thank you to the guests themselves for agreeing to come and share such powerful personal stories. Finally, we're immensely grateful for the donors who made this entire thing possible in the first place. We also remind our listeners that the opinions expressed by our guests are their own and not necessarily reflective of the host or other podcast contributors. Also, this recording is the exclusive right of Insight Myanmar podcast. It is meant for personal listening only and cannot be used without the express written permission of the podcast owner. This includes any video, audio, written transcript, or excerpt of any episode. That said, we are open for collaboration, so if you have a particular idea in mind for sharing any of our podcasts or podcast-related information, please feel free to contact us with your proposal. Finally, we welcome your contribution in any amount, denomination, or transfer method. You may give via Patreon at www.patreon.com/insightmyanmar, via PayPal at www.paypal.me/insightmyanmar, or by credit card by going to www.insightmyanmar.org/donation. In all cases, that's Insight Myanmar, one word, INSIGHTMYANMAR. If you'd like to give especially to support our new run of coronavirus episodes, please go to the GoFundMe site and search for Insight Myanmar to find our campaign there. If you are in Myanmar and would like to give a cash donation, please feel free to get in touch with us. With that, thank you for listening, and we welcome back next show.